Hello and welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. This is episode 182. My name is Emily Rainbow Davis. I am the podcast. I am the hostess. I'm not sure how I feel about the gender of hosting. But here I am, and here you are. Thank you for listening here on this Monday. At least that's when I'm recording. I'm actually going to send this out today, which doesn't always happen, but this time it is. But I don't know when. You could be listening to this on any day of the week. That is the magic of podcasts. It's really not. Really, it's like really not. I mean, it is. The magic is that you can listen to them whenever you want. But anyway, there's many other things that are magical about it. So today's blog is on a Gen X theme, as will next ones. The next one, I think it'll be next week. Next week is also Gen X. It's a Gen X moment. I don't think Gen X is really having a moment, aside from me having to say things about it, apparently, a lot. I'm also, in the middle of writing one as well. So I guess, I keep thinking I'm done, and then more things happen. So here we go. This one is called the Gen X Nod. Ever since I realized we were outnumbered, I have been keeping my eyes open for my generational peers. We are harder and harder to find for reasons that are not entirely clear to me. How can there only be one Gen Xer in every office? Don't some Gen Xers work together? Where is everyone? But my sense is that we're all doing this, keeping our eyes open for each other now to some degree. I've noticed a new thing happening, a sort of guarded acknowledgement of one another. It is the Gen X nod. Now, generally, New Yorkers prefer not to acknowledge one another's existence, and Gen X New Yorkers have historically been loath to acknowledge anyone at all. But because we're on the lookout for one another, when we spot someone we know would bust a move on Blister in the Sun without hesitation, or just really understand our childhood cultural references, we nod. It's the kind of nod that is not really a nod. It could be missed entirely or denied. Did you nod at me? I don't know what you're talking about. But it's become a weirdly regular thing out in the world. We're just nodding at total strangers who are about our age out of solidarity, I guess. I'm finding it kind of comforting, truth be told. My community has more or less disintegrated, but I can get some cool generational solidarity with a tiny nod. We are all too cool to do much more than nod, but we can nod. I'm wondering, as time goes on and as we become more and more invisible as we age, if the nod will lead to actual words and maybe even conversation. I think it depends on how desperate we might feel or how isolated. Lord knows if I found a single other Gen Xer in that island that started this generational analysis for me, I'd have grabbed them and gotten the story. Meanwhile, I suppose the nod has always been in play in our generation. In college, it was hard to get anyone to say hello or to wave. You felt lucky to get a little nod. A friend of mine had an ex on campus with whom she was still friendly, but when he saw her out in public, he would not say hello. He was too cool for that. We've always been a little too cool for that. Until now. Now we're going with the nod, I see. And I find I really like it. It's a way to say, I see you. I'm still here. You're still here. It's not easy, and we're mostly on our own, but we're still here. We see each other. Not everyone's doing it. I saw a few Gen Xers on the train recently, and rather than nods, there was a sort of wary scanning. It was like the old school vibe of, are you cool enough for me to talk to? I don't know. Maybe next time. We're doing that too, as we did back in college. But a lot of the time, we are, most of us, definitely cool enough just by virtue of being one of the few. Gen X's vibe has always been that we're cooler than you, and we're not letting that point of pride go. No way. We can outcool you. We are cooler than ourselves. We are champions at appearing like we don't care, even when we do. As I begin to move away from being able to pass for much younger, the way I've done the last decade or so, the Gen X nod feels like a kind of consolation. As the world starts to see me less, Gen X sees me more and will, maybe, give me the nod. So I wrote about this and like at a time where it was happening like every day. And I thought, oh, this is a thing. And sort of since I put this out, it's rarely happened. I mean, I think it's still happening to the degree that like, I think Gen Xers are kind of checking each other out on the street in a, hey, what are you doing here kind of vibe? Like not a challenging way, but like, I see you kind of way. I think that's still happening. It's just that the nod has kind of faded. I think it'll be back though. I feel like it's a thing. So, you know, some things come and go. The Gen X nod may be one of them. But I wanted to share it with you anyway, because maybe it's happening to you. Maybe it's been passing around, like maybe there was like a trend here in New York and then it moved on to Wisconsin or Austria. I don't know. So that's the question. Really. So, the song today is, I feel, a real Gen X classic. Because, okay, so it's Hello by Lionel Richie. And I mean, for obvious reasons, right? So, hello, is it me you're looking for? Because I wonder where you are and I wonder what you do. That's the theme for the day. But I also feel like this song was one we made fun of, at least when I was growing up. It came out, I think I was in middle school. I'm going to say I was like 12, maybe 13, 11, 12, 13, something like that. And at least in my case, like I took it really seriously, even though I also made fun of it. It was a kind of, I feel like that is a Gen X move, is to just like earnestly feel all the love from Hello and also find it ridiculous. I feel like that. I think what often gets sort of portrayed about us generationally is a kind of, yeah, who cares, whatever, or like the Beavis and Butthead generation or something. But I also think like underneath that like kind of cool, not that Beavis and Butthead were cool, but like the sort of everything's dumb kind of exterior that we can project, like there's some really earnest shit happening underneath there. Like just really like deep down, I feel like a lot of Gen Xers I know have a like really like heartfelt streak that you'll catch in really funny moments. I can't tell you the number of times that I've had some friend who seems like super cool and super tough and super like, and then you see something just super mushy, just like, or they'll love this song, for example. I feel like this song, it just like really it hits that spot like exactly. Also, like the song sort of became a meme before there were memes. Like it was not a digital meme. It was like, I feel like people were photocopying posters of Lionel Richie's face and like with little tear-offs that said, hello, is it me you're looking for? So there's a way, I don't know, it goes deep, this song, generationally, I feel. I mean, probably for everyone, I feel like the song has had legs, but yeah. Anyway, it was fun to work on. You'll hear that I played it on ukulele, which seemed right. And it sounds a little bit like a music box to me. So I was sort of playing it like it's a music box. And I thought like, oh God, it would be so cool if it could actually be a music box. Like how do you actually play a music. How do you program a music box? You can't program a music box, right? You have to build it to play a certain song. Anyway, I feel like that would be a really rad track to have like a music box. Hello. Yeah. So that will be here at the end of the podcast in just a moment. And next week's podcast is going to be about Gen X theater. Now, on the blog, I didn't do one Gen X post after another. I try not to do that, but it was a rejection post in between. So I figured I might as well just skip ahead. So if you're really not keen on Gen X, and if you are not keen, I'm sorry, that's terrible. But if you're not keen, maybe you're in another generation and you've got your own generational problems to address. Next week will also be Gen X-y. So hang tight. I'll be back with less Gen X-y content soon. If you would like to support the podcast, A, you're already doing it by listening to it. Thank you for that. But B, there are ways to support it even more. One of them is to tell people about it. You can do that with your mouth or, with your typing fingers, sharing on the social medias and whatnot. If you would like to support the podcast with your dollar bills, Patreon is the sort of top level tier support for that. And that is patreon.com/Emily R. Davis. I am in the midst of sending out the zines. The zines have been bound and envelopes have been addressed. Now I just need to go to the post office. So those are going out if you are on one of my patrons. Hang tight. And other ways to support financially are through PayPal or through Ko-fi. So all those links are in the show notes. And I think that is all. Enjoy Lionel Richie's Hello. I've been alone with you inside my mind. And in my dreams I've kissed your lips 1,000 times. I sometimes see you pass outside my door. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your smile. You're all I've ever wanted. My arms are open wide, 'cause you know just what to say, and you know just what to do. And I want to tell you so much I love you. I long to see the sunlight in your hair and tell you time and time again how much I care. Sometimes I feel my heart will overflow. Hello, I've just gotta let you know, 'cause I wonder where you are, and I wonder what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely? Is someone loving you? Tell me how to win your heart, for I haven't got a clue. But let me start by saying I love you. Hello, is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I wonder where you are, and I wonder what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely? Is someone me start by saying I love you.